Good morning, good afternoon, sir. My name is Ernesto Cosentino. My student number is w1939035. And today I will be talking to you about my progress in terms of my final year project. My final year project, as you know, sir, is called Fintrack. It's a financial app designed to help the youth manage their finances. All right. In this presentation, I will mainly cover the progress I have made since the proposal requirement specifications. I will talk about the required documentations, which I will also attach and upload to this presentation so that you can have it next to you and you can see the system architecture, the function and the functionality of the app, the Gantt chart that is updated, and also the requirement elicitation. But in addition to me uploading a supporting document, I will also talk about it in this presentation. While I won't be demonstrating the app's features in this video, I will explain how they work and how they integrate into the overall system. However, I will be uploading a separate demonstration video for my app for you, sir, to see what the app is looking like and how far the app has gotten in terms of development. All right. So first off, we're going to do an initial recap. So in my initial PPRS, I outlined a key problem that is many young adults find it very difficult to manage their finances, leading to overspending and poor financial planning. So we had clear aims and objectives. We had objectives to create a user-friendly iOS app that integrates expense tracking using the Plaid API, budgeting, goal setting, and also data visualization. We also said that we was going to provide a secure way of logging in using Face ID, Touch ID, and offer push notifications when budget thresholds and milestones were reached. All right. Key points that we can remember from the PPRS is that many young adults struggle with managing their finances, and the scope included tracking, budgeting, budget setting. I don't know why it went forward. I think it has a timer, but sorry about that. But also basic financial goal management, and what we plan to deliver is as core functionalities as manual and also automated expense tracking, and also data visualization such as charts, bar charts, pie charts, and trends, and etc. And also user authentication. All right, so since we had the recap, we will now see the progress we've achieved since the initial PPRS. All right, since the initial PPRS, I have made significant progress in multiple areas, which include system architecture, also implementation of different features, and incorporating and also UI and usability enhancements. All right, basically I have defined and started incorporating a multi-views model, such as a notification multi-views model using the MVVM architecture, which is model view model architecture, which keeps the app modular and maintainable. I have finalized a layer approach of the UI the business logic, the data services, the external APIs, and everything. And once I demonstrate the app, you will see different files and how this has been implemented. I've also implemented a biometric authentication feature that asks for Face ID or Touch ID. I've also implemented the app animation. I've also fully implemented the manual expense entry and editing, but also implemented the budget setting. So once the user logs in, it has a timer, so it goes to the next slide. Ignore that, sir. So once the user goes in and logs in, he can go ahead and add his budget, and then that is also implemented. And once he adds his budget, he can then add different expenses and select different categories manually, because I've implemented the manual entry and editing of expenses, and he can see, and then he can visualize in charts and in bars and in lines how much he has spent on what he has spent, and he can also see a list of his expenses dating back by date. And then the data visualization is also implemented. And you can see his data differently in charts and bars and in pies, and that is also to be enhanced more in the future. I've also went and revised the UI based on beta testers and early feedback. For instance, I've added a pie chart in the home screen, because users told me that they wanted to see how much they're spending right away. They don't want to go to another screen. They want to see like a little summary, and then if they want to see more, they can go to the trends view and see more in detail. I've also improved the code organization and things like that. Next up, we will talk about the stakeholder analysis. In this stakeholder analysis, we will see that Fintrack is designed with multiple stakeholders in mind. The stakeholders model follow an onion structure, which includes 4 layers. We can see it here. That includes 4 layers. We have the Fintrack app, and also we have the system, the containing system, and also the wider environment. And we can see this in great detail right here. We can see who they are and what they do and how they benefit the app. All right, so we can see that in great detail here that we have a core system, which is in this case our app Fintrack, and inside the core system, inside the core system, we have the system, which are the direct users. These are the people that are going to be using our app. These are the people that are going to be using our app day to day, young adults, university students, etc. So we have here the primary users, like I said. We also have beta testers that will enhance user experience, provide feedback on usability, performance, and bugs. We also have support and maintenance team, which in this case is myself, but will help with debugging issues and maintaining the app to ensure long-term usability. And once we go higher than that in the onion diagram, in the onion diagram structure, we can see that we have a containing system, and in the containing system, these are indirect beneficiaries. We have financial advisors that offer guidance on how the app should work, and how the app should work, offer guidance on how the app should structure financial insights, and give us advice on what users want to see, because financial advisors always talk to clients and therefore know what clients and or potentially on our case young adults value. So I still haven't talked to financial advisors, but I will, and based on what information they'll give me is what is the type of insights that I will show on the trends and on the data visualization view. All right, and then we also have the university supervisor. In this case, that is you, sir, and you will oversee the project's academic and technical compliance, but also give me guidance on technical things that I'm struggling with and give me technical provide me with technical support. We also have the App Store review team. The App Store review team is a regulatory body that will ensure compliance with Apple's App Store policies. And here we also have the Played API providers that will automate expense and categorization by integrating their banking data to their software, to their API. Basically, after that, we also have a wider environment. These are external influences, mostly regulatory bodies such as the GDPR, FCA, and Apple's privacy guidelines that enforces security and data privacy measures. We also have potential investors that could have an impact on how the app will monetize, or how the app or future features on the app. We also have financial advocates and influencers that could promote the app through content creation and endorsement. These are the stakeholders that I have identified, but there are also more that I have mentioned that I have displayed here on the presentation. But there are more that I have listed on the document that I'll upload to you, sir. There's also future sponsors that could be mentioned in the wider environment, competitors such as Mint, MoneyGuard, etc., but also security and ethical groups that will ensure ethical data use, etc. So there is more stakeholders that I have listed down on my document, elicitation, that I didn't mention due to time constraint. Moving on, we will talk about the overall system architecture, and in this overall system architecture, we will see how different components work together. First and foremost, we have the launch and authentication screen. We have a launch screen that is a splash screen, and then after that we have a content view that will ask us to log in with Face ID or sign up, and if we choose sign up, it will ask us to link our bank account with Played, but that is optional. If the user wants to use it manually, he or she still can use the app. After we do that, we will jump on and go to the main app view, which is a tab view, and that will land on the home screen. That will show us the home, expense, budgeting, the goals, the visualization, and also the profile. So the profile is on the top right hand. The profile is on the top right hand with a setting bar. That's not really implemented yet. The visualization is implemented. The goals is not implemented yet. The budget setting is implemented. The budget visualization is also implemented. The expense view is implemented, and the home view is implemented as well. And this will be demonstrated in more depth in the demonstration video. And then after that, we have an MVVM layer. We have an authentication view model, budget view model, expense view model, goal view model, and notification view model that are yet to be implemented. Budget view model is implemented. However, the authentication view model is not implemented. It is directly implemented in the authentication view. However, it will be moved in the future so that it will be maintainable and scalable and modular. And we also have modules such as users, expense, budget, goal, notification category that are partly partly implemented, but not everything. And then we will futurely implement the Swift data and user default for local storage and Plate API, obviously to link the bank accounts. And also we will implement push notifications for local notifications on threshold and etc. This is the overall system architecture, and this is overall what I have identified. All right, next up we here is the what I've explained in more detail. We have here the different components. We have a launch and authentication, launch app with animation and branding. That's what the first thing that happens when we launch our app. And then we have an authentication, biometric Face ID or Touch ID, or we can also enter password or email. That is, and then we can also link our bank accounts using Plaid. And then we have a main navigation tab, includes home, expense, budget, financial goals and trends. And we also have Swift UI views. We have a home view, we have an expense view, we have a visualization view with bar, pie and line charts. We also have a budget view, the budget breakdown and analysis. Also, we have a goals view to create and manage financial goals. We have a profile and settings view to update our preferences, etc. And then we have different components such as bar chart view, pie chart view, trend line view for visual insights that will be used in different pages within the app. The app is organized in an MVVM architecture. We have a budget view model, authentication view model, expense view model, goal view model, notification view model, profile view model, and all these models have different functionalities and are the logical part of our app, where the functionalities happen. So for the budget view model, we can what it will do is that it will track spending and budgeting. The authentication view model will manage user login and blank accounts and authentication and security. The expense view model will handle expense tracking and categorization. The goal view model will track financial goal settings and also milestones. The profile view model will manage users' preferences. We also have different models such as user, expense, budget, goal, notifications and category, and these will hold different these will have different things such as ID, email, name, ID, amount, category, user for expense, and these will be useful for our Swift data. We also have data integration and services. We have a local we have storage. We have a storage that will have a local that will have a local device encryption. We have a banking API, which is Plaid for real-time account linking and transaction tracking. We will also implement security such as authentication and HTTP for safe connections, and also use push notifications for alerts. We also have external services, which are Plaid and Apple push notification services. After this, we will talk about functional and non-functional requirements. The functional and non-functional requirements are as follows. The first and foremost, we will talk about the functional requirements such as user authentication and profile, email and password sign up is pending, biometric login is implemented, update profile and profile setting is pending. We also have expense tracking and we also have expense tracking and in expense tracking we have linking bank account to Plaid API, which is pending. We have that includes automatic expense categorization, but we also have manual expense entry, that which is implemented, expense editing and deletion, that is also implemented, and we also have an expense history and detailed view that is also implemented. And then after that we have a budget management on number 3, as you can see, sir. Then for number 3, budget management, we create a monthly budget that is implemented. We have a progress bar that is also implemented, and create a monthly budget progress bar that is implemented. It says pending on here, but I have just implemented it before I started recording this. I just forgot to edit it here. However, it is definitely implemented. And then after that we have categories of budget, which is create monthly budget categories. That is just a short version of it, that will allow the system to that will allow the user to create budgets for each category. That is also pending and coming very, very soon, because I was working on it separately before I submitted the prototype. And also have financial goals. And for financial goals, set and create financial goals and view financial progress is pending and coming very soon as well. Reports and data visualization is fully implemented. The spending trends and charts are visible now. Notification and admin functions are also coming soon. There will be a notification sent when budget thresholds are close or hit, and also goal milestones are getting close or hit. And then we also have admin functions that will have an admin portal. Hopefully that will be able to delete users or manage users globally or send global notifications, etc. That is also pending. Next up, we have non-functional requirements. These non-functional requirements define the app's quality and are reviewed throughout the project's life cycle to ensure that the app's quality and alignment with stakeholders' needs are met. So we have different measures such as performance, security, reliability, usability, and scalability, and we make sure that these are met. And you can see here the details of what they look like. Next up, we will talk about the challenges I faced, which were quite a lot, to be honest, and what I have learned, because every challenge brings a lesson. What went well? Let's start with the good note. What went well was the Swift UI and the MVVM implementation. It was really quick to use, easy to maintain, and easy to add features, because the fact that I used the MVVM architecture allowed me to work on features separately and make sure that as now I was getting ready to upload the prototype, I just deleted a bunch of pages that were not working or were not fully implemented and didn't make the app run, so that I could just delete those and show my progress without having to break anything, basically. The chart integration was really straightforward too. Didn't take me a lot of research, just had to watch a couple of videos and it worked like magic. However, we had a lot of challenges with the Plate API integration. It takes time to configure and it was really hard to learn, and I'm still not 100% confident on how to do it, but everything is figure outable and I will figure it out, and I'm learning and reading a lot of documentation about it. And managing multiple view models can be very complex, but I overcame it by consistent naming and a modular design. And finally, balancing academic deadlines with thorough testing and with reviewing the code and everything was really hard, especially because I had a family emergency during Christmas moments that didn't allow me to really work for a couple of days. But however, everything I overcame that, and here we are presenting the presentation. So the lesson I learned is that I need to start with simpler prototypes before the final architecture. I genuinely lost a lot of time designing the architecture and figuring it out, out all the pages and how it's supposed to look and how it's supposed to function, and didn't actually get to coding quite late. I got to coding, quite late into the date, because I was mainly focused on the architecture and also the requirements. But I learned that I also need to gather user feedback early, because after I've done a couple of things, I had to go back and change them, such as the UI that took more time to fix, and also document the code thoroughly, because I genuinely had a hard time going back to my code after a long time and trying to understand what I was thinking when I was doing it. However, I fixed that too. Next time, and then finally we'll talk about the next steps and the future work. In the short term, I think I'll be linking Plaid API and adding the Swift data to store data locally and finalize the budgeting notification. And also very soon I will need to do the sign up and have a super user or users to actually have the database ready and to store users and to start actually making this app function like it should. And then also need to complete the financial goal logic and partial automation too. And in medium term, I need to do possibly the admin console or the advanced user management functionalities. I have to explore Swift data encryption or keychain for sensitive data, because we are dealing with financial information. Therefore, encryption and security is of the utmost importance. In the long term, if I finish everything early, I will look into the AI-based insights and possibly add an advanced investment tracking and add an investment API that I'm currently looking into. Maybe if I have time, I could add that, or even after the final year project is submitted, I could still continue developing this, either for my personal portfolio or even to actually launch it in the App Store and see if there's a market for it, and maybe investigate cross-platform development if demand arises. Here we see, finally we see an updated Gantt chart that I have done. You can see, if I don't know if you remember my first Gantt chart, but these things like identify stakeholders, requirements and non-requirement, functional and non-functional requirements, and also system architecture took a long time, and it didn't on the other one. I didn't expect them to take this long, but I was stuck on them. I was trying to really perfect it and make sure that I had every area covered. That took a lot of time, so I definitely demonstrated this on the updated Gantt chart, but also updated the timelines that it actually took for me to do what I did till now. And finally, on the future development phase 2, I allocated more time to development and no longer for research or anything else, but for development, so that my final product is up to standard and up to industry standard, and something I could be very proud of. In summary, this is what I have done so far. This is where I'm at in my interim development. I am very excited for the second phase of this development, where I'll be very much focusing on the coding aspect of things. But I just wanted to finalize by saying that Fintrack will provide a user-centric financial solution with secure login, real-time expense tracking, budgeting, and data visualization. We have progressed significantly since the first time I presented to you, sir. We have an VVM architecture that is mostly in place, and main UI flows are mainly built, and we're nearly ready to integrate the Plaid API and everything else. Thank you very much, sir, for your time, and thank you for listening to me. If you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to ask me. Thank you for your time.